hello world. Good morning, Filipinas. Welcome to the Teacher's Voice. This show aims to give teachers the opportunity to talk on air about their unforgettable journey and thrilling adventures, as well as share their splendid wisdom to inspire and give hope to our listeners and viewers. This show is aired by the Philippine Las Vegas radio station from the heart of Las Vegas every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time and 9 p.m. Eastern time, and on Sunday in the Philippines at 9 o'clock in the morning. This is one of your co-hosts, Julian F. Cañete, welcoming you from the Philippines and now in the Philippines. And my other co-hosts, we have Teacher Marvin,
How are
Attorney
you?
Karen, Doc, good morning there in New York, and also Teacher Pasita Ross, which right now Tita Pasit is not here with us. She is just, I think Tita Pasit is just resting for this time. So, good morning to everyone, and especially to our teachers who are our viewers and listeners, most of them. Sir Marvin, how are you there?
I'm glad that the temperature, our weather here got warmer today, and I hope it's gonna get warmer also tomorrow for the weekend. Nevertheless,
Wow. Yes.
we are ready and bracing for whatever a winter may come or may bring us.
Yes, yes, yes. And here in the Philippines, it's very, if it is cold there, it's warm in here. It's not just warm, it's real hot, Sir Marvin.
Oh,
But thank God, you are in the other part of the world, cold, and here we have also hot in here, warm weather, and we're thankful that we're still alive and kicking.
of course.
Yes, and before we start the show, we will have a short prayer from Sir Marvin.
All right. Please join us in prayer. Our Father in heaven, we worship you in our lives and in our very endeavors. You are the bestower of both life and the gift of life. We honor you in our midst. We honor you in our celebration of the journeys and the successes of our educators, the educators who you called into the ministry of educating, into molding, and into shaping the future of our society. We pray that you bless us with your presence today, and we worship you because you are the God of our lives. This is our prayer in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that wonderful prayer.
Amen.
Sir Marvin, I'm so very excited to hear from our guest today. So before we will let her come in, we have to introduce her, Sir Marvin.
Of course, with much honor and with great pleasure. Our guest tonight obtained her Bachelor of Arts and in secondary education, major in English language, and which she finished in 1994, and Master of Arts in Education, a major in Educational Management, which she completed in 1998, both from St. Michael's College of Laguna. She finished her Doctor of Education, major in Administration and Supervision degree in 2000 from the University of Perpetual Help System, Laguna. And moreover, she obtained sociology as her minor teachable area in 2007 under the post-baccalaureate degree program at the University of Manitoba, Canada. She also received a certificate in school management and leadership in 2021 from Harvard Graduate School of Education and Harvard Business School. She assumed teaching and administrative positions at St. Michael's College of Laguna, Philippines for 12 years. That's from 1994 through 2006. And when she and her family moved to Canada in May 2006, she first worked as a part-time research assistant at the Faculty of Education at the University of Manitoba for 2 years. She has completed several research projects, not only in the Philippines, but also in Canada. She taught at Maples Collegiate from September 2012 until June 2020 as a full-time teacher. And in September 2020, she was appointed vice principal at Ecole Constable Edward Finney School in Winnipeg, Manitoba. She has been vice principal at A.E. Wright Community School since January 2021. As a community volunteer, she has been the president of Seven Oaks Filipino Employees Association Incorporated. It's a not-for-profit association which she co-founded in June 2012. Moreover, she had been one of the leading proponents of establishing the first Filipino bilingual program in Canada since 2018. Her latest achievement was receiving the Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee Award at the Manitoba Legislature building in December 2022 for her active community involvement. Our dear teachers, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our guest tonight, Dr. Porfiria Pedrina. How are you, Dr. Pori?
Mabuti naman. I am good. Thank you very much for having me join you tonight.
Wow. Ma'am Pori, yeah, I heard good things about you, and I'm so excited to hear that. And not just me, I think everybody, if you can share with us some of your journey that will inspire teachers, especially the teachers. So before you do that, I have the first question. My first question, can you tell us first about your position right now and the school that you are working for? Tell us about the profile of that school.
So the school that I am working with at this time is called Arthur E. Wright Community School. It's a K-8 school, public school. We have the English program and the Filipino bilingual program in our building. We have approximately around 450 students in total. And in our Filipino bilingual program, we have it from kinder to grade 8. Yeah. So we are fairly like not a very large school, but it's a good number to begin with.
Yeah. So 450. That is from
Kinder to grade 8.
Correct. Yes. So are you teaching or are you having an administrative position?
So I'm not a teaching. Yeah, I am a vice principal, so I do not teach. What I do is the administration part as well. We do the other portion of that is the Filipino bilingual program where I basically oversee for that. But I am also a vice principal for the English program.
All right. So this is so uncommon to have schools that is offering bilingual, like Filipino bilingual language. Why is it that this school is having that bilingual language of Filipino? Why?
Oh, yes, that is a very good question. Yeah, that is really a very good question. I was interviewed in different places like radio stations and TV networks. So one of the interesting questions is the question that you ask right now: why have Filipino bilingual program in our city? So in Manitoba, second largest spoken language that was shared with the community based on the Canada statistics released in 2021 was that Tagalog is the second largest spoken language at home, which means that majority of the people here are speaking the language. Not that they are like 1 million people in Manitoba, for instance, and so approximately around 100,000 people are of Filipino heritage. So it's a huge percentage of the province that I am in. That's why we have the Filipino bilingual program. Interestingly, in the beginning of the program, that was in 2018, it took us a while for us to offer this to the community because there's not much interest. There
Mm.
was interest, but not much from our very own people because of that Western influence, thinking that why speak your own language when you can just assimilate, right? But that's not the point. The point is, although we are immigrants here, or first, second, and third generations, or mixed cultures, actually, our students in our Filipino bilingual program are not only pure Filipinos, they are um, mixed cultures. We have half Filipino, half Ukrainian, half Filipino, half Thai, half Filipino, half Vietnamese, or not only newcomers but first, second, third generations, and so it's a diverse community as well.
Mm.
So it's really good to see such that um, not only that it is the second largest spoken language, that we still need to advocate for that language teaching, cultural language teaching. It's also because they say that if once that you have stopped speaking the language, then that language becomes a dead language. So just Latin language, right? Although many of the words that we use are originally from the Latin words. And so it's just that to keep our community alive, vibrant, and all, let's teach it formally in school. And so we're so fortunate to have it offered in our building, although we had tough times in the beginning of our years here.
Yay, thank you, Ma'am Party. Okay, Sir Marvin.
Yes, Doc Jorge, can we go back to the previous question by teacher Judeline when
Mhm.
she wanted you to share with us and to share with our audience how your journey as a teacher began.
So in terms of my journey as a teacher here, so we moved here in 2006. It was not easy. It was a very difficult decision to move from a high position already in the Philippines, because I was dean of the School of Education Liberal Arts. And then you move here and then you begin from scratch, right?
Mhm.
Anybody who comes here will start from somewhere, from the bottom usually. And so it was a while. It took me like 2 years, because initially, despite of my credentials, like imagine having a doctorate degree in education and imagine having 12 years of teaching experience in the Philippines. And then here you are telling these people that, oh, please accept me because I'm very much qualified. And then they would say, no, you can't, because we have a system here. So I had to go through that process of credential recognition. So and then when they assessed my credentials, they said that I needed to do additional work at the university under post-baccalaureate degree program. And so I did in order to get my teaching certification so that I'm allowed to teach here.
Mhm.
So I started not right away as a teacher. I started as a research assistant at the Faculty of Education at the University of Manitoba. But eventually, I got to know the system and also get to know people that can help you navigate the system. So I was fortunate enough to meet these beautiful souls that have helped me along the way. So from being a part-time research assistant to a substitute teacher, you can't even right away begin as a full-time teacher. You have to start as a substitute teacher. So I did some subbing for a couple of years, and then finally they got to know me, and then they offered me a job to teach as a full-time teacher. And that's where I spent my 8 years at Maples Collegiate as a high school teacher.
Mhm.
So, and then moving to the administrative position afterwards. So it's a lot to put into a very short time, my journey as to from where I started to where I am now. But I'm really happy to share that, because sometimes we expect people to see us the way we see ourselves, but that's not the reality. And that you have to really believe in yourself, that you are who you are and that you're able to bring something that they don't have. So
Beautiful, beautiful. What a journey. Haha, 8 years. Oh, no, no, you started from like admin staff in the school, right? A research assistant. And
yeah,
after that, 8 years of being
it's
a
a
high school
yes,
teacher. After 8 years, now you've been 4 years as the vice VP principal, vice
yes.
principal, right? That's so awesome. Awesome. That is so inspiring. So I want to ask you, what are some of the qualities that you have that people or teachers need to hear? Because I believe they will be inspired of that. That when they go to different countries, they will also succeed. So tell us, Mampori, about your skills, talents, and other, yeah, I would say talents and skills and abilities that they need to possess.
I think I've shared this when I was invited as a speaker in the Philippines, where I was in summer this year. And I shared that two two important things. There are the so-called technical skills and soft skills, right? A lot of us are really highly qualified. We have really rich educational background, but the other piece of us that we should really continue to work on is our soft skills,
Mm.
um, and also adapting to the culture where you're in, because you're not always right, even if you think you are, because
True.
what is right to you may not be right to others, and that you have to adjust yourself to that. Something that I've learned along the way is developing those soft skills. I already have those before coming here. We Filipinos are we have very rich cultural values that until this time we want to continue to possess all those and pass along with our own children or with the students that we have. But those technical skills alongside with your soft skills will bring you to a greater place than you would have ever expected, because we should have growth mindset, not fixed mindset, that I know what I'm doing now. I think I like thinking about not developing yourself. I believe that every day is an opportunity for you to learn and grow and develop. And so there's no point in life in which you would say, I'm done learning,
Mhm.
because there are so many things to learn, unlearn, relearn, right? And to continue to share all those things, the journey that you have with others, because from sharing what you have, they also will learn from you or unlearn from you or relearn from you, right? All those stuff. But I think we are in a better position as Filipinos because we are imbued with good values and virtues that will carry us along no matter how hard or tough the situations could be, because we're so resilient.
Mhm.
No matter what people say, you know who you are and you believe that you can do something better than other people would think of you. And so I think the very first thing that I faced was the cultural shock, right? That when you come here, you think they will accept you as you are, but there are systemic barriers that are undeniable. And so, and also the classrooms are not the same as in our classrooms. It's diverse here and in America as well. So facing all those things and the realities that you need to learn, you need to unlearn, you need to relearn things, and so all those things, just having a positive mindset I think is good, but having an open heart and open mind to see the difference and to see that uh, every day is a learning opportunity, and every day I can learn from others, even from just listening. You don't need to
Mhm.
talk. You just need to observe, and then you can say, oh, I think that's really good. Oh, I think that I should never do that. Or I should never say that word because that's offensive.
Mhm.
There are so many things to learn, and I sometimes I hear people uh, thinking that they know everything. But for me, despite of all my education and achievements, I would say that I even learn from the kids,
Mhm.
and the kids are our best teachers. because they are so honest in what they're saying, and no screening of thoughts, right? And so you learn from them. So every place is a learning opportunity. Even now that I'm talking with you all in this interview, that learning to know the experiences of others is really enriching. And so just being able to be open to others in many learning opportunities, that's a great place to be with.
Correct. Correct.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Wow, that's great. Okay, sir, it's your
All
turn.
right. Yes. So, Doc Poirier, aside from completing your master's degree in educational management, you also hold a Doctor of Education degree in administration and supervision, and you also completed a post-baccalaureate degree from the University of Manitoba, and you have a certificate in school management and leadership too from Harvard Graduate School of Education and Harvard Business School. Now, I have two questions with regards to these. Number one, how inspiring and how rewarding are these graduate school degrees for you as a professional? And number two, how do these degrees impact your outlook in life as an educator?
Yeah, maybe I will give a little historical background on myself before going to that point. So I've always thought of education as a way out of to get out of poverty. So I came from a very poor family, I should say, and I was a sponsored child of World Vision International when I was a kid. And so all those things that have formed and shaped me as a child had actually contributed to my dream of pursuing higher education, because I know that education is a way out, not only for myself, but for the people I love. And so the education that I pursued, I know it is not only bringing me wealth in knowledge wise, but wealth in experience and wealth in my way of my worldviews, right? It changes. It helps you shape the person that you are, that you would never thought of getting to that point. Because as I've said, my beginning is just, I had a very humble beginning, and to where I am now, it's just like, and I can say that it is because of my aspirations, and also because as a child, I knew already that education is a way that can liberate me from poverty and from ignorance and from all injustices of the world. And in doing so, I am also not only helping myself, but also educating other people and helping them get out of that jail, right? Of ignorance and not and lack of freedom to do what you need to do and what you are destined to do, what you are created to do. Because there are so many limitations and boundaries that can be created, barriers for you in order to become who you should be. But for me, that was very clear, even as a child, that I think I should say I was born as a leader. That's why all my master's degree, even before finishing my bachelor's degree, I was already thinking of pursuing my master's degree in education. And even before pursuing the doctorate degree, I was already thinking of it. In fact, I finished my doctorate degree at the age of 26.
Oh,
so my classmates were already my aunt and uncle or grandpa and all. So one of the youngest in the country to finish my doctorate degree. And it is so good, even to be part of that. One of my dreams as well is to be able to study at Harvard. And I was able to fulfill that dream a few years back when I finished and studied and finished my certification in school leadership and management, which was a dream come true for me, to be able to think that, I thought that I'm this good only, but no, I can be this good because now I am talking to so many people that are experts around the globe. through this course, through this certification. And so it broadened my perspectives of myself and life and education and students, because, oh, this is what you're doing in this country. Oh, this is what we're doing in our country, and so on and so forth. So exchanges of ideas and thoughts. It's such a rich community, a rich place to be with. And so whenever I am engaged in professional dialogues, I feel so enthusiastic about it, because I know that it is a rich place to be with. Not, I know that we will not be rich in terms of monetarily in our work as educators, but we are rich in so many other ways. And
Right.
so I feel that way. And I hope that, yeah, I was able to
True.
answer all questions.
Very, very true. So, where are the kids now? Are they with you?
My own kids?
Your
Who's
family
my
now.
family?
Your
So I moved
husband.
here with, yeah. So when I moved here in Canada, I was with my husband and my one daughter. And so now I have three kids. So I have who she is 22 years old, my firstborn, who's about to finish her education degree too. So she's becoming a teacher. And then my second child is in grade 11, and my youngest is in grade 9. So two of my kids were born here, and one
Mhm.
was born in the Philippines. So yeah, it's so good to see that their lives are also better because of the decision we
Mhm.
made to move here. And so, yeah,
That's nice. That's nice. So you are there together. So, ma'am
Yeah.
Pori, I know you are working now as the vice principal, assistant principal, and you had this experience of 8 years or even more back here in the Philippines. You taught here too, right? Okay.
it's, yeah,
So how
12
many
years.
years all in all, when we say real classroom teaching, how many years?
Because I did in the Philippines, I taught for 12 years, but then I also held, in some of those years, I also held some positions, administrative positions in the Philippines.
Okay,
So
okay.
side by side, here in Canada, I was a substitute teacher for I think 3 or 4 years. I gave birth. I became productive here. So for 2 years, when I arrived here in May 2006, the following year, I gave birth to a
No,
second daughter. So it was
second
very,
child.
actually, my journey was my journey towards my professional certification here wasn't that easy. So I was working as research assistant at the University of Manitoba while I was doing my certification. So while I was studying, and I was pregnant, and I remember myself like writing exams, and it was winter, and the courses I took were criminal justice and corrections, all the heavy stuff, law, and all. And I was pregnant, and I finished my courses in April. I gave birth May 2008. So that was tough.
Mhm.
And then I
Okay.
completed, yeah, so it was really tough. But I was working like 2 weeks after giving birth. I was already working back to work, because that's how tough it was for us,
So
survival, right? In the
yeah.
survival
So
mode.
that means you had like at least 20 years as a classroom teacher, combined
I should
Philippines and
say,
Canada.
yes, no, more than that, because in June
Uh-huh.
2024, it will be my 30th year in the educational field.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
So in those years, okay, let's say more than 20 years as a classroom teacher, what are some of your experience that you will never, never forget as a teacher? Real having hands-on teaching with the students. What what are
yeah,
some of your experience memories that you still cannot forget?
I
That
had like, yeah, I really have so many experiences to name. But one thing that is because I also like I taught elementary, but majority of my teaching experience in the Philippines was actually in the college level. So I remember, so one of my students was now a district supervisor in Santa Rosa City. Um, he inspired me in a way because he graduated cum laude, and that was the year that I moved here. And during that time, he sent me an email saying that you are my inspiration, blah blah blah, all those kind words. And I was crying. I was really crying because that was the time that I was so depressed because I couldn't find a full time teaching job.
Mm.
I couldn't get the job that I cannot resume my career at all. But then, and at the back of my mind, I was thinking like, what? You are thinking of me as your inspiration when I myself is struggling here? I was thinking about, guess what? 2 or 3 years ago, he sent me this message saying that I am now a doctor of, I have PhD now, and I have become like this. I am now a district supervisor, blah, blah, blah. And he did not only have one PhD, he has double the achievements that I have made for myself. And so, and then he was sharing this, and he was saying that, thank you so much for being my inspiration, that I did not think of myself as worthy as to be a role model for him. Although I know I was, but then to that extent, I didn't expect that. So I replied back. So I was crying again because for many years I did not hear from him. And then here came messages saying thank you. And so it touched me, it touched the people that I've shared this story with, because at the back, and then he also told me that the assignments I've made, because I taught technical, one of the courses that I taught in English was technical and scientific report writing. And so because of the assignments I've asked them to do during my time and the teaching I did with them, he published his own book. And so come to think of the impact of the work I did while in the classroom, and then now he's publishing so many books. And so that to me is one of the highlights of my teaching career. I have so many to name, but one that I can connect with my experience from the Philippines and here is that one particular story. And I have so many to name, but that one particular story is not because he became like, I don't know. I know he challenged. When I went to the Philippines, he was saying to me, can I give you a treat? Because he wanted to meet with me, but I did not have the time to meet with him. So unfortunately, but hopefully next time that I go to Philippines, we would have that chat. But then he said he was writing an exam to become what's next after district supervisor? Is it superintendent in the Philippines, in the public school? I think that's the next level that he's eyeing for. And so when I think that not only we are impacting them while they are with us, but the impact that we create, the ripple effects that we have with our students after, I think that's one of the highlights that I can say, that I can truly say I'm proud of being an educator, and I will still be proud of it even as I grow older.
True. Thank you. Wow, I love that.
Mhm.
Sir Marvin?
Very, very inspiring indeed, Dr.
I know.
Salamat, Martin.
Of course. Now, you have completed several research projects, not only in the Philippines, but also in Canada. Can you please share with us the nature and the kind of research that you have been involved in the past, or maybe in the more recent past?
So the first one that I did with the Faculty of Education, University of Manitoba, was a research about experiences of immigrant teachers here. So we presented that research in a poster presentation at during an American Educational Research Association conference in New York City, by the way.
Mhm.
That was in 2008. And so it was really great to share that not only it is true, not only in Canada, that immigrant teachers experience the systemic barriers from finding employment and so on and so forth. But also, it is interesting to note because that research is also a collaborative research between like among three universities. It's University of Nottingham, England, and University of Toronto. So that was really very interesting collaborative research that I was part of. The most recent one was a research that was, I think it has been published already by now, University of Toronto. And this one is research that I did with Darlene Bautista and another teacher, Ron Scala, in our building. Darlene Bautista is connected with University of Toronto. And our research was about The Medium is a Message by McLuhan, developing the first Filipino it's with regards to the first Filipino bilingual program. So it talks about how that is a form of decolonizing education, because when we think of Canada as bilingual, which means that French and English are the most dominant languages spoken, we also are not thinking about how rich and how diverse the languages that are being spoken and used by many who are coming here in Canada. So that's a way to decolonize education through our Filipino bilingual program. And so, yeah.
How many students, Filipino students, out of that 450 in
So
your
right
list?
now we have 80 students, about 80 students in our Filipino bilingual program. We have some kids that are on wait list because we couldn't accept them because we don't have a space for them to be accepted in our program. So next school year, our hope is that we would have additional classrooms for those additional students that are coming in. Interestingly, by the way, I'm very, really happy to share with you that our program is because there was an interview in the past about our program, our Filipino bilingual program. So there is now a new opening in another school division of our Filipino bilingual program, which is now a K-1 offering in another school division. So we are replicating our program. And another success story that I am happy to share with you is that just recently, a family from Grand Forks, American citizens, visited our school. And I've been in communication with this family, with the mom in particular. She is white, and yet she's married to a Filipino. She wants her kids to be in our Filipino bilingual program, and she is a PhD in clinical psychology in Grand Forks. And so, and then she was saying that the only reason why we would like to move to Canada is because of your Filipino bilingual program. And so they visited our school last Monday. And so I toured them in our school and they were so impressed. And so it's just like heartwarming to hear that here is a white individual wanting to be in a Filipino bilingual program because of the benefits that she sees together with a Filipino husband about the program that we're offering. And so it means that we're making a difference. And so, yeah, hopefully we would be able to also present at University of Hawaii in Hilo research about our curriculum material development that we did through the
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have a question.
yeah,
That bilingual, Filipino bilingual language course, is
yes.
that a subject to all 450, or is just like a kind of vocational that you have to choose that I want to
No.
take this?
The difference, because the reason why we say this is the first Filipino bilingual program is because it is the first of its kind. Because um, all the subjects that are offered under Manitoba curriculum, Manitoba education curriculum, they are the same subjects that these kids would get. On top of those are subjects that are taught in Filipino. There is a Filipino subject. It's called Filipino literacy. We have social studies. We have health, visual arts, and the daily routines that are usually in using Filipino as the language of instruction, and the rest of the subjects are in English. And they also have, when they reach grade 4 to grade 8, they are taught French. There's a French subject.
Mm.
So it's a very rich program, because it is not just one subject that you come in. It is the entire day. It's from 9 to 3:30. Our classes start at 9 and ends at 3:30. And it's the same. And it is richer because on top of what is offered to the regular English program or French immersion program, this is, you are adding subjects, adding more to what the kids are learning. And so this is really what makes the program very unique and really very rich.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. We don't have that much time, but sir, I think we will just ask Ma'am Pori of her message to all teachers that are listening to us. And after that, if you are ready, you can also share your code later.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Ma'am
So,
Pori, what is your
okay,
message? Your last message.
my message. So, one of the, we will always face challenges. We will always face barriers. We will always face discriminations. These are realities of life that no matter what we want, or no matter how we want to get rid of, probably it will still exist no matter what. But what changes the game in playing this is your mindset, right? How do you see things, and how do you accept things would spell the difference. Um, and no matter where you are, whether you're in the Philippines or in New York, in Canada, you can become successful. One of the questions that I was asked when I had a speaking engagement in the Philippines was, would I think of myself as a successful one if I did not move to Canada? And my answer was, is success only defined in the place where you are in?
Mhm.
And so, definitely, wherever you are, whatever you're called for, wherever you're called for, if you are doing the best that you can, and and if you are really passionate about it, you will still be successful no matter what.
Mhm.
It's just some people are called to go somewhere else, and some people called to stay in the Philippines, and that's great. You can still become successful no matter what. And you can still continue to inspire people, whether the people that you have inspired already moved on and
Mhm.
go to different places, and you're still there in the Philippines, or you're still in New York, or you're still in wherever place you have chosen, right? And it changes in the way we look at things and in the way we perceive things. And so, yeah, realities of life will always be the same, but it is the reality that you created in your mind that will spell the difference. And for me, what really had contributed to where I am now is my strong faith in God.
Mhm.
That I always say that I always, we can make plans, but the final decision comes from the Lord.
Mhm.
And so, to me, I will never say that I did it all by myself,
Mhm.
because I know that along the way, in all these things that I have experienced, whether they're negative or positive, they have contributed to where I am now and what I am. And I credit that first to God and the people that He brought to my life so that I can navigate this the complexities of the world that I live in. And so, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. That was so beautiful. message to all of us. Sir Marvin?
Of course, my life quote is this: proper education is the education of the heart. And the education of the heart is best achieved when we educators embrace the heart of God. For when we have the heart of God, we can love even the most unlovable among our students. Thank you very much,
Amen.
Dr.
Amen.
Ori,
Amen.
for gracing this program.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mr.
yes. This is
My
so beautiful that we let our teachers having voices,
Mhm.
like their stories, their inspiration. And lastly, I want also to share my life quote. And I always mention this, especially what you said, Mampori. Wherever we are, we can be successful. It is just in our mind and also our actions that they will see that we Filipinos or we individual, we are really peculiar, like we are different. So I want to share this to you, and this is what success is all about. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not in your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. This is the success which I can say. What should I do? It's just to trust him.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, Marvin. Mom Tori,
Thank you very much.
Canadian teachers there. We thank you for your presence, Mom Tori. And
Thank
also,
you.
Sylvie, thank you for this giving voices to our teachers in the whole world. Thank you very much. Bye
Right.
bye.
Bye.